All right, everybody, good morning. And it's Monday morning. We have a great virtue to focus on today, and one that might be a little bit easier for most people. And that virtue today is friendliness. Well, I hope it's easier for most people. It's a great virtue, isn't it? And we always appreciate it when others demonstrate their friendship towards us. So let's see the description first, and then we'll go from there. Friendliness is reaching out to others with warmth and caring. It is the willingness to be an intimate companion. Friendship is essential to our souls. We value ourselves enough to know that we deserve true companionship. We attract others by what we are willing to contribute. What we give, we get. The presence of a friend can soothe us, unleash our laughter, amplify our joy, and diminish our sorrow. Friends are compassionate witnesses to one another's stories. We share our time, our attention, our love, and above all, ourselves. We look upon strangers as friends we haven't met yet. Friendliness is the best cure for loneliness. Wow, there's a lot of things going through my mind, and I hate to say it, but the very first thing that goes through my mind is that as a parent, we are not our child's friend, we are parents first. And it's very interesting that many of the things that we see in this description will eventually come about as the kids get older, and but we're still parents, right? Always. But I love this word, and I love the idea of friendliness and having others that we're willing to contribute to, and that we're willing to give our very best to, share things with them. And when we do, we find that there comes a closeness that is very intimate. I also want to just think about from my own perspective is looking upon strangers as friends we haven't met yet. And I think when we think about friendliness, I think we have to be careful that it's not a horse trading kind of thing where if you're friendly to me, I'll be friendly to you. And that's an area that maybe we all work on. I don't know, but it's something that I want to continue to work on, because if someone is not so kind to you, it's very easy for us to go and slip right down into their way of being, right? And so having that willingness to be kind and to demonstrate caring, even if someone is not so kind, is a part of that friendliness. It's not the whole thing, but it's certainly a part of it. I think there's a question that we could ask ourselves, well, how can we develop this virtue more in our lives? How can we demonstrate, or how can we develop friendliness as a part of our virtues? And especially when we're talking about how we develop it in our kids. This is just a thought, but what if we became more curious? And instead of saying to ourselves, oh, this person is like this, or this, or we look at someone and we begin to have thoughts about who they are or what they represent, or who they're connected to, what pile they're in, are they this religion or that religion, or are they this political persuasion or that political persuasion, or do they have these kinds of habits or those kind of habits? Do they like this or don't like that? But become curious. And when we become curious about others, it gives others the opportunity to share with us their story. And when we learn people's stories, what I have found anyway, is that it changes our perspective about who they are. And so my opinion is that friendliness starts with our being curious about others, and then it grows into an attraction because we can see the real person. Friendliness also, and I'm just going to say one more thing about this, and that is that friendliness also is our ability to look at a person and see the virtues that they have inside of them already and that they're demonstrating, to see the best in them, to see the good in them, to love what is best about them and be willing to accept those other parts of them that maybe don't do so much for us. But at the same time, we are willing to be curious about, how they came to that place. And when we get curious and when we can see the best in others, our ability to demonstrate this virtue of friendliness grows. And so how do we teach our children about this? I think we start with this idea of curiosity and seeing the good in others. And we, recognize where our children are on their emotional development. When they're young, 2 or 3 years old, they're not ready to be sharing things. And that's, a big thing. But we can talk about that and we can demonstrate how to do that. And I think all of those things play into their ability to learn friendliness, but they learn it mostly from what they watch from us and what their own temperament is. So we're going to find that there's going to be some children, just like there are adults who would prefer to be by themselves or to do things in smaller groups, and there's going to be others who are out there, and they want to be the social butterfly, and they're here and there, and they make friends easily. And so if we have a child who is more inclined towards doing things in smaller groups or by themselves or just with one person, if you as a parent are someone who likes to be out and about and doing things with lots of people, this is going to be very hard for you to understand, but get curious about it and be willing to give them the opportunities to do those things the way that it makes them feel the best, and also encourage being in other groups and helping them to see the best in others and grow that virtue of friendliness. So just because they want to be by themselves or they want to do things with small groups or whatever versus larger groups doesn't mean that they can't develop it to a level that can be comfortable for them and for those around them. So we appreciate that we're all unique and we all have different ways of being and doing things. And friendliness is one of those virtues that we can always grow. So I thank you very much for being here today. Let's go out and let's see how we can demonstrate this virtue of friendliness today, how we can maybe meet someone we haven't met before or talk to someone that we haven't talked to recently. How can we ask questions? How can we use questions to demonstrate our curiosity and be truly willing to listen so that we can grow that intimacy that we have with even those that are very close to us? So those are some things I'm going to be thinking about today, and I thank you very much for being here, and until next time, and keep practicing the virtues, and especially this one of friendliness, along with the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. All right, until next time, bye.